Hi, I'm Bob Noel of the Cybersecurity Challenge. At the Challenge, we're all about encouraging new people into the cybersecurity profession at all levels and from all backgrounds. We also support strongly internet and cybersecurity safety campaigns, such as the recent Safer Internet Day for 2021, where we've contributed messaging on best practice through social media and through our work with the National Crime Agency. At the moment, we've got some very interesting and very popular activities on our Cyber Games website in concert with that agency. We're also running the Cyber Centurion competition, which is a competition for teams from schools and after-school clubs like cadets for ages 14 to 17 with Northrop Grumman and the US AFA. You can see on our main website the breadth of activities we cover in an inclusive way and at scale. If you start reading about the industry, there continue to be fewer people in cyber than are required. However you count that gap, it's a big number. And that skill shortage presents an opportunity for people to consider cybersecurity both as a career and a career change into an industry that's growing very quickly with a wide variety of roles, and not all of those roles requiring high-level qualifications. Cybersecurity encompasses a much bigger, broader range of roles than most people realise, from operations to risk analysis, to law, technical security, coding, computing and so on. There's a huge variety of interesting career options.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jessica Barker, and as well as being co-CEO of Cygenta, I'm the author of 2 cybersecurity books. Confident Cybersecurity was published in September 2020 and immediately became an Amazon bestseller. It's a comprehensive overview of cybersecurity from the technical, physical and human sides. Confident Cybersecurity covers everything from tech vulnerabilities to social engineering to cyber war to the different roles available in this industry and how to get started. I'm also a co-author of the newly published Cybersecurity ABCs, all about awareness, behaviour and culture in cybersecurity, so it's for people like me that work on the human side of this field. When it comes to cybersecurity, many people think that this subject is purely deeply technical. And of course, technology is at the heart of cybersecurity, but so are people. It is people who design, develop, use, abuse and destroy technology and information. So really, people are absolutely fundamental, that relationship between people and technology. One thing I cover in Confident Cybersecurity is that pretty much every sector, pretty much every job, from lawyers to bankers to footballers to fashion designers, information and technology is at the heart of everything that people do, and so cybersecurity is at the heart.
Obviously, qualifications beyond that through A-levels, university and postgraduate research, all entry points too. In parallel, of course, those who are largely self-taught or have gone through vocational training, apprenticeships and so on, are equally in high demand. At the Challenge, we've found that people who are good at pattern recognition, have great attention to detail, are resilient and determined, are good candidates for cybersecurity. As are people with an interest in gaming, IT and computing, they all have an affinity too. But STEM, as I said, is not necessary or essential. Problem solving is the core skill. People with all sorts of backgrounds are great at cyber. We see chemistry, economics, geography as areas where people have come from and been successful, but more widely from law, teaching, the humanities and the armed forces after discharge, the vets, the veterans. And of course, as I said, there's some great self-taught people without much schooling in the mix.
My advice to anyone interested or possibly interested in cybersecurity is to get stuck into learning more about the field. If you're already interested in tech, that's fantastic, keep going. If you don't have a background in tech, don't let that put you off. I came into this industry 10 years ago without a technology background, and I just focused on learning as much as I could and taking opportunities. There are so many opportunities to learn and develop in this industry. I never would have imagined that I would become one of the most influential people in this field, that I would become someone who speaks in the media about cybersecurity, someone who speaks to audiences of thousands of people face to face and sometimes millions over the TV about this subject. I never would have thought that I would be winning awards and that I would become a best-selling author in cybersecurity. So if I can do it, trust me, so can you. What I recommend you focus on is learning as much as you can, taking opportunities and making the most of those opportunities, and really focus on adding your unique value to whatever you do.
Good advice. I'm going to go through a few resources, but what I'm about to run through are also listed as a takeaway on the website. So some organisations where you can get some help and information include the Chartered Institute of Information Security, that's known as CIISEC, the British Computer Society, the BCS, the Institute of Engineering and Technology, the IT, there's CREST, there's the NCSC, a part of GCHQ, and there's lots and lots of websites. If you Google strings such as IT Career Finder or something like cybersecurity jobs, you'll find that an awful lot of links come up, many of which are useful. If you're starting out and thinking of a move into cyber, it's also worth looking at the new T-levels. T-levels are all about, as well as Cyber First from NCSC, GCHQ, the EPQ, the Extended Project Qualification in Cyber, and the Government Kickstart Scheme. These are all interesting things that you can look up. So have a look at university courses too, especially the Academic Centres of Excellence in Cyber, the ACE list of universities. Bursaries are possible from Cyber First. And have a look at the T-level track as opposed to the A-level track. The T-level track can lead to apprenticeships, which of course can lead to degrees. Some do, some don't. If you're with one of the larger companies like BT, BAE Systems, Kinetic and so on, they offer all sorts of apprenticeships, large numbers of them. That's well worth investigating. The EPQ, for example, at Quafaro in cyber is an additional thing to do. There's lots of accreditations and certifications in cyber, but don't think they make very much difference at entry level. And they do cost money if you think of CISP or CISM. So it may be better until an employer is prepared to pay the costs, rather than think you need them up front, which isn't necessarily true. So have a look at the government schemes as well. I've mentioned Cyber First, and whatever cyber discovery morphs into when it restarts will also be very interesting. So join in the bigger picture as well, and don't be feeling shy or you may miss out. So join an institution, one of the above that I've just read out, or more than one. Join as a student member, that's very affordable, sometimes free. You can join a local group. Where I live in Cheltenham, there's a group called CYNARM, which stands for Cyber Cheltenham, which is popular and has lots of professional people and aspiring professional people going along to meetings or joining in online during COVID. You could even start an after-school group. Have a look at Cyber Centurion. There's lots of free things for students. Cyber games, for example, Immersive Labs, which is a company, offers free things for students. Of course, you can have fun. You can do things, obviously, on our website, Cybersecurity Challenge, and look for capture the flag events, so-called CTFs, which are offered by many organisations. And there's lots of things in online gaming forums. You could try and get an internship for a few weeks in the school holidays at a local small cyber or pen test company, or just an IT services company. The new government scheme for placements, the Kickstart scheme, has quite a few cyber companies and public sector organisations signed up and involved. So remember, enthusiasm, an inquiring mind and problem solving are the core requirements for people to find you interesting and you to find the work interesting. So it's fairly obvious too that local companies who've seen people in their placements, such as internships, may well subsequently offer them a role. Have a think about geography too, on how to maximise chances of landing a role. There's various cyber hotspots around the UK, and also some areas with very few cyber opportunities. So obviously London and the M4 corridor, with all their associated pros and cons, is one busy zone. But Bristol, Cheltenham, Malvern, South Wales, for example, is another, with a lot of cyber startups and cyber going on. Manchester is another hotspot, which is interesting and has lots of opportunities. Take a look at the Challenge's YouTube channel too to see more on how some of our contestants and players over the years have progressed their careers. Of course, it's interesting how cyber careers fairs online like this have become popular, not least due to COVID, and employers are increasingly comfortable recruiting people online and through Zoom and Teams and apps like that. So keep an eye out for further events like this. So make as much now of the online activities that you can take advantage of and some of the great people who are present through this fair, and do engage to get more information. Thank you very much indeed for listening.